We are live, Ria.
Hello, hello. I hope everyone is having a wonderful, wonderful week. How
Yeah,
are you, Laura?
I'm great. It is our Tune In Tuesday 2020.
This is our,
Yeah.
no,
No,
yeah.
am I wrong?
No, you're
Oh,
right. This is our
'cause I
first.
made a little banner there. You could see. I, was- I didn't want to mess it up.
Oh, okay. Oh, no, absolutely. Because today is January 7th. So, yes,
Yeah.
we wish everyone a happy, happy, happy New Year.
Yes. We are kicking off 2020. It is awesome so far. And so, Ria, where are you and the Joe man?
We are in New Orleans, or as my husband says, New Orleans.
New Orleans.
But yeah, we're in New Orleans for a few days, and it's a great time to come, especially since like yesterday it was 70 degrees here, and
Oh,
yeah, and I heard that back
well,
home getting snow and
it was nowhere near 70 degrees.
yeah. So I'm glad we came. I mean, it's not beach weather, but it's been restful, and we got
Yeah.
a lot of been able to get a lot of walking in, which is very good for both of us. And so yeah, so we're happy to be here.
Very nice. I have n-
Eh,
I've never been to New Orleans.
really?
Yeah, I have not.
Oh well, we've got to do a tune in from New Orleans then. A tune in from the Big Easy.
Yeah, we got to do a tune in from a lot of places. We've got
That's right.
plans, big plans.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. All right. So, glad you guys are having fun, and
Yes.
thank you for taking time out.
Oh no, this is what we do,
That is.
and I love it, and it's as I plan a vacation, I also think, okay, so what are going to be the logistics for the Tune In Tuesday? Will I have a place to go? Make sure that we arrange dinner at a certain time so we have our window. This is part of our lives now.
Yes, isn't that funny? My whole family knows that when we go away. I'm like, well, wait, on Tuesday, we can't eat during this time and we can't go that far. And we have to make sure we're around the internet. um, but so we have, let's see, so Saf is here, um, Allie,
Hello, Sappa. Hello, Allie.
Donna. Donna's saying hi to everyone in the community. We've got Jean listening in,
Hello, hello.
Christine. So it's great. It's good. So let's get started because we have an interesting topic tonight that we want to talk about, and stick with us. This isn't woo woo or anything, but it might sound, you might have to think about it a little bit.
Yeah. And you know what, Laura, before you get started,
Mhm.
something that I want to introduce, because last week when we talked, we asked everyone to bring their journals. And again, there will be questions that we you and I may ask each other, but we will ask the rest of the group here with us. Make notes in your journal. These are things that you can journal about and put more thought into. Okay,
Great
Laura,
idea.
sorry to interrupt you, but I wanted
No,
to just add that.
I'm glad you did because this is really that kind of topic where if you have paper, preferably your journal, this is a great topic to talk about and to ask yourself some questions on. I don't know what I did with my. All right, you can't hear my phone, right? Okay, I got my voice down, but I. So what we're going to talk about is gifts that you can give to your future self,
Mm-hmm.
right? So your future self is is the person you're going to be tomorrow, is the person you're going to be next week, is the person you're going to be next year, in 5 years. um, you're your future self now from the self you were a year ago, a month ago, right? So that whole idea, that whole concept of your future self, because I feel it, and I don't know if it's maybe the age that I'm in right now, but like I'm beginning to really see, like, connect the fabric of my life,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm realizing that the younger self like kind of sacrificed at times and made some really like risky decisions to bring me to the future self that I am right now.
Mm-hmm.
And intentionally, we can create the future self that we're going to be.
It sound. You know what? I want to add something, if you don't
Please.
mind, because this is such a timely topic for all of us. But I do want to. I want to share very. Hopefully, I can do this very quickly. How this topic that that you picked, when as we were pulling together the topics, it converges with something that I have been feeling very deeply over the last couple of days. So I'll explain why. So
Mm,
some of you may be familiar with the minister and Bible teacher by the name of Tony Evans. He has a church out. He is pastor of a church outside of Dallas, Oak Cliff Life. No, Bible Life Fellowship is the name of it. Sorry if I messed that up. But it just very quickly, and he's a great teacher. But
mm,
his wife, who had been very ill for a while, passed away, and they had her funeral yesterday. And
mm,
they and in this day and age they stream things, and so I watched a portion of it, and they had four children, and that each child gave a piece of shared memories of her. And her oldest daughter talked about, that you've heard many people come forward and say great things about my mother, but how did she, and you wonder, how did she do this? And
mm,
they said, one little decision, one little action at a time is what builds a legacy.
mm.
So, you're talking about the gift to our future selves. Sometimes we get thrown off course when we think we have to make some big grand gesture in a short period of time.
Yeah,
What made a difference in this woman's life and in the lives of the people that she touched happened to be, as her daughter said, one little decision, one little action at a time.
yeah, right. And that's the truth. And it takes emotional maturity to be able to think of life this way, to be able
Mm-hmm.
to think of your future self. Because let's face it, when we're teenagers or we're young
Mm-hmm.
people, we're not always thinking of our future self. We might drink a little too much. We might do a little too
Mm-hmm.
many things we shouldn't be doing.
Mm-hmm.
We might spend all our money. We might do some careless things, not thinking about the future self, like what will happen when we wake up in the morning. And um, and that's why there are times like there are people that they'll make money but they'll spend money, right? And not thinking of the future self or not thinking of life after this moment. And so when you think about being your future self right now, like Ria, what are some things that you could thank your past self for that brought you to where you are right now?
Mm-hmm. Um, for making the choice to push through some hard things,
Mm,
you know, uh, not quitting when I could have quit, things that didn't come easy, that I
mhm,
had to put more of my time and more of myself into, for really not quitting. I mean, a specific thing is in college.
mm,
I at one point it stopped going to school. A lot of people don't know that. Okay, 30 plus years later, that makes a difference, huh? But I didn't, because there will be someone says, I didn't know you did that. I did that 30 plus years ago.
yeah,
But no, I stopped working. I mean, I stopped working as a student in school, but I started working full time. And it was someone encouraged me to go back to school, and I just said, okay, I'm just going to have to dig in and do it. And so
yeah,
I'm grateful that I found what I needed to be able at that time to push through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, and that's when we talk about the future self, like who we are right now, we do need to think about what got us here and thank our past self for some hard work. Like you know, I thank my past self for, being able to change my view about getting married again. Well, not again, but getting married at all. Um,
Ooh, ooh.
I'm only married once, but, but but I used to want to get married. And then, I had an experience, my family had an experience with my father, and I didn't want to get married. And I didn't even want any part of that life. And I wanted to make money. I got a job in the city, and that was where I was. And I thank my past self that when I met Chris, I said that I was going to give it a chance, that I was going to take the risk, that he wasn't, you know, the same person as my father. And my
Mm-hmm.
father was I don't mean to, my father was a great man. He did the best he could, but things didn't work out in several ways. But I
Mm-hmm.
thank my past self for taking that chance, for shifting that belief,
Mm-hmm.
because I wouldn't be half as happy as I am today without
Mm-hmm.
him, that other half of me, right? And I thank my past self for going back to school when I had 3 kids. And I did
Mm-hmm.
my work from 11 o'clock at night until 2 o'clock in the morning because
Mm-hmm.
my days were busy, crazy. I was volunteering. I was going to classes. I was class mother. I was bringing my kids to sports. And I went back to school and I worked crazy to get that degree.
Mm-hmm.
And a whole nother topic that switched. I'm so thankful that my past self did that because it allows me to be who I am today. It
Mm-hmm.
allowed me to help people in crisis. It allows me to work, doing things I love. I thank my past self for going through coaching.
Yes. Yes.
I thought about that, the money involved, and
Mm-hmm.
will I really use it? And what is this coaching thing about anyway? And look at how my life, oh my goodness, I can't even imagine not doing that. I wouldn't
Yes.
know you. We wouldn't be able to impact people. And who knows where else we're going to go from there, right? But I thank my past self for doing that.
Yes.
And so
It's
we want you to think about that tonight. We really want you to think about what sacrifices did your past self make for you, the self you are right now?
mm-hmm.
And what gifts can you give your future self? Because there's going to be a future self.
And also, when was the time that you had a yes or no choice, and you ended up making the choice that wasn't the easiest one, but the
Mm.
one that turned out to be the right one. So either you said yes when you really needed to say yes, or you said no when you really needed to say no. And sometimes it's just that one split, that one fork in the road that can take you on two completely different paths, different trajectories, different groups of people that you're exposed to. So it really makes a difference. I think
Mhm.
that I am to use the wording here. Yes, I thank my past self for making the choices to move, to relocate, even when no one else understood it. Like, you're moving to where now? But didn't you just move to this place? Well, why do you move so much? And but I'm so glad I did it. I'm so glad I did that, and I'm proud of young women who take that shit. And also, but you have to make it. But it's a decision, and there are things that come with it. There are ups and downs that come with it. So, but being able to weigh things out, I'm proud when I see anyone who does it and doesn't just go for the automatic um, safety zone, comfort zone. No. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Absolutely. And so if you can think about right now in your life where you are, post it. Like, let's be real about this. Let's put it out there. what is one thing, just one, and maybe there's 15 and that would be awesome, but post something that you thank your past self for doing
Yes.
that helped you to be who you are right now, right?
Hmm.
Because
Hmm.
that past self sacrifice, you didn't get where you are right now by your past self not doing tough things, because
That's
everyone following us are growth minded people. That means you're very aware. That means you've done work on yourself, and that means you want to grow even more. So that doesn't happen by accident.
hmm
And it
no,
doesn't happen by getting older. It
no.
doesn't happen at all if we don't create it.
Yeah.
So,
If we're just sitting around waiting for life to happen to us, we're not going to get to where we want to go. We're just
life
not.
will happen. It will
It will
happen to us,
happen.
and we will be a victim to it.
Mm.
But we're not going to be who we want to be, you know. And what you said before was so key too, Ria, is the little decisions. Like, I think about the little choices along the road
Hmm.
to where I am now, the little ones that we made, that I don't know, I don't even know if I thought hard about them at the time,
Hmm.
you know. But I thank myself. And you know, when we can do this, when we can sit and look at who we are now and thank our past self, that's all about that's all about acknowledging ourselves. It's all about treating ourselves kindly, with grace and with love.
Yes.
And that's what we
Yes.
need to do as women. Oh, so Dawn says, love Tony Evans, praying for his family and comfort. What a
Hmm.
great loss of a great woman.
And oh, and I'm so glad you
Mm.
said that too, Dawn. It just dawned on me that
You're
that
so clever.
that you know what, I don't think I mentioned her name. So she was just more than a pastor's wife. She
Mm.
was a woman, a strong leader, ministry in her own right. But her name is Lois Evans, Dr. Lois Evans.
Mm.
And with the gift of YouTube, she lives on. So I was
Mm.
watching actually a video where she was speaking about being determined to live your best life and
Mm.
staying the course. So I'll be happy to share that link with the rest of the group.
That's beautiful.
Thanks, Don.
So Safa says, such a great question and topic. Thank you,
Mm,
Safa.
mm-hmm.
John says, the Ecclesias men did the best they could with what they had, and they produced amazing kids like you. Thank you. And that's why I had to say that. My father was a great person. He didn't have an easy life. He had a very tough life. And, when I was younger, I didn't always understand that, as I did as I got older. But he and I ended up having a relationship. We had peace with each other, so it was all good. So Safet says, wow, I never thought about it. I thank myself for having the courage to come to a country alone. I thank
Yes.
myself for building my life from zero here in Canada, home,
Mm,
at the age of 30.
mm-hmm.
Wow. I thank myself for making a decision and leaving an unhealthy marriage. I
Mm-hmm.
thank myself for working so hard and learning so much through it. I thank myself for investing in myself and joining JMT. I thank
I
myself for starting over a year and a half ago in my new work. Wow.
well, and I thank yourself for all of those things too, Safa.
Wow.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful. Thank you,
And
Steph.
and very powerful.
I'm like, yes, very
Yeah.
powerful.
Yeah.
I feel that. I really
It's this is not just an exercise. This is not just an exercise, and it's not something that we just made up out of the clear blue. But this is a tool that you can use again and again when you get in one of those ruts, or have one of those blue days, or need a reminder that
do.
yes, you are enough. You are more than enough. Or as somebody said to me, I was too much. but when you have those days, you can go back to this list, and it reminds you, like sometimes we will tell ourselves things like, you don't have any discipline. Well, you know what? I thank myself because I had the discipline to, have a full life and be a full-time student, and did well. I thank myself. So this list is, I think you should revisit it and
Mhm.
update it, but let it remind you. Don't just throw it away. Let it remind you of not who you were, but who you are and how you got to where you are.
Yes, and who you're becoming,
Yes.
right? That future self as well. So Ali says, I have a very hard time even contemplating my past. Oops, sorry. Somebody else commented and moved it down. I have a very hard time even contemplating my past self. She was a hot mess, and she was far away from who I am now.
Hmm.
I can't say I really know how to answer this question.
Well, then what I suggest, Laura, because the question you asked in the very beginning was, what gifts will we give to ourselves now or give our future selves now? So, okay, then if it's not a question you can answer from the past, then how can you answer it looking forward? What gift can you give to your future self to make to create the ridiculously amazing life that you are going to have?
Mm, yeah. And Ali, maybe now you look back and you can view yourself as a hot mess. Maybe now you can, because
Hmm.
now your awareness is greater. So somewhere along the line, that past you decided this is enough, and I'm up leveling my awareness. I'm getting the help I need, or I'm doing what I need to do. So somewhere along the line, that past self made a decision, and she did the best she could at the time. Safa says, I'm crying here. Thank you for making me ask myself this question. The
Hmm.
obstacle is the way, and everything worthwhile is uphill.
Hmm.
That is truth.
Hmm.
John Maxwell says it all the time.
He
But
taught us well.
if you're not climbing up, you're not going anywhere.
Hmm.
You're just taking that walk, because everything worthwhile is uphill. And you know what? That's what I love about what we do, Ria, is that we're so honest, and that when we go through things ourselves, we come out here and we share it with anybody that wants to hear
Ah,
it.
yes, yes.
But we do it, we make ourselves vulnerable. We talk about these things because
Hmm.
we want you to grow. Like, that's our mission. Our mission is to create a movement where people grow their awareness, because situations will never change, but we can.
Yes, we can. And quite often we're the ones who have to change. Sorry, I just got like a low battery flashing thing. We're the ones who have to make the change, not waiting around for
Absolutely.
the
Right,
situation.
right.
So,
We are so much bigger than our situation.
yes.
So, all right. So then back to the question of, now that we've revisited and we've thanked our past self,
Hmm.
what can we give our future self? What do we want to give our future self? I think one of the things I want to give my future self is my physical health back, right?
Hmm.
So, this past year I've been in and out of the gym, and I get back on it, and then, work has gotten busy and everything gets busy, and I've been letting that go, right?
Hmm.
So I made that decision in my journaling the other day, that I'm not going to be inconsistent with that anymore. I am
Yes.
giving the gift to my future self of better physical health.
Hmm. I'm with you on that. I And it goes in several directions, because the what I said was, in order to do that, and in order to eat better, work out, move, what do I need to have? Who
Mhm.
do I need to be? So I had to take myself through a few steps, and because I can say that I know that's the best way to live. I know that this is for my own health, but what do I need to do? And and I'm smart enough to know the steps that you have to take and what do and do. How do I understand all of that? But what is it that I need to have in order to do something? What do I need to believe? What do I need to feel? So you know what? My word that came out, and I wrote a bunch of stuff that I won't go through right now. But the word I ended up with is I had to be and have to be. Sorry, I have to be relentless. Just
Oh, relent.
relentless when it because even when I don't feel like it, I
Mm,
have to be relentless.
mm,
Even if it hurts, I'm not talking about hurting myself, but even if it just doesn't feel, I have to be relentless. And so now, past couple of days we've done a couple of long walks, and those moments when I didn't feel like it, I just said, Rhea, relentless, relentless.
mm.
Okay, and it may take more than that later, but that is and I'll revisit it if it does, but I think that's part of what I need to get me going because the answer's still within me.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah,
it's not a product. It's not a piece of equipment.
that's right.
It's within me. So,
Oh, yeah, that's a great one. I love that word too. But yeah, and so what can you give your future self? What can you do
hmm
now
hmm
intentionally for that person that you're going to be? One of the gifts also that I want to give my future self is that gift of growth. Like I am
hmm
going to never stop growing. I will always be learning and growing and looking at different, ways of thinking and examining my thoughts more, being selective with my thoughts. I know our thoughts create our feelings. So, how do you want to feel? You're going to feel the way you're thinking, right? So, I also want to give my future self, I want to give her the gift of believing in her
hmm
because I've learned at this point that I could believe in myself.
Yes, yes, that's wonderful. Well, let's see, we've got a couple of
Dawn.
more comments.
So let's see what Dawn says. I am a very cautious person. Generally, I'm not adventurous and I think too much about everything. But I have to thank myself for taking a chance on myself a long time ago,
Mm.
learning I had worth, I deserved better. At the time, I didn't know that it was what I was doing, right? I would like to give my future self the same thing, a chance. I need to not let fear or laziness stop me.
Hey, love
Oh
it.
my God. I would like to give my future self the same thing, a chance.
hmm
Oh, I have to tell you, I'm moved right now. I really am. I'm so moved by all of this. Give your future self a chance. Yeah. Yeah. And
And
believe in them. Believe in them because guess what? At this point where you are in your life, I don't know. Do you have a reason not to believe in yourself?
oh, our bully mind, that part of our mind that says all kinds of crazy things to us, will try to create a case and make us believe that there are numerous reasons. I mean, just based on little things that you didn't do yesterday, and make you somehow believe you can't do what you need to do tomorrow, or today. So yeah,
But
but
when you know the person you are,
yes.
and you know what you've done to get where you are,
hmm
you can challenge that and you could win.
And the more work that we do, Laura, the stronger you become in your self-awareness,
Mm.
the more difficult it is for those little things to really just completely knock you, which was not to say that they won't, but just completely knock you off course.
Right,
It
right.
becomes something that we just, it's like a muscle. You just grow
Mhm.
stronger as you do it.
Yeah, it's like a boxer. You know, when you're going to go against that bully self, you got to be ready. You've got to be mentally
Mm-hmm.
prepared, right? You've got to
Mm-hmm.
be mentally prepared. And the more you work out and the more people you fight along the way in your boxing, the more you're more apt to win, you know? So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it is like a muscle. So Sappho says being relentless, demanding more of yourself than anyone else could ever demand of you, knowing that every time you stop, you can still do more. We must do more.
Mm-hmm.
And then she says,
Do. Yes.
show up, work
Work
hard,
hard and listen.
and listen.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, yeah. And you know, it's interesting though, because we give things to other people all the time, right? Like we want to make life easy for as many people as we possibly can,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't always give to our future self. We
You're
don't
right.
always do that. We don't always take that time. So Donna says, I can't seem to engage in tonight's conversation due to the
Hmm.
computer issues, but I want to say that I love the question. What can I thank my past self for? As it is a question that I never thought of asking myself. Love this group to pieces. Oh,
Hey, thank you, Donna.
love you to pieces, Donna. I
Well,
gotta
we
see
hope
Donna. I haven't seen her in so long.
and we hope you catch us on the replay.
Yes, and for those of you that are catching the replay, take a little bit of time to just sit still and think about this
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
for you and for your future self.
And if you could do us a favor and just type in the comments box replay so that we know that we have, it just reminds us that we have a replay audience out there.
Yes, and comment if, you know, just, I would love for this to be a movement. I would love for people to share this because I want everybody to stop and think
Mm-hmm.
about something they can thank their past self for. Just to be aware of that, you know, you are that, that past self is still a piece in here, and the
Mm-hmm.
future self is ready to emerge, right? So you're an evolving being,
Yes.
you know, and that's what spirit does. Spirit evolves, and that's what we are. It
And
expresses it.
we are capable. We are, don't think that just because something happened in the past means you're not capable of reaching out and doing what you want to do in the future. What we're giving you today, what we're sharing with you today, are steps along the way that you can take that will enrich your lives. And if you engage, and we've talked about action and doing, but you have to engage in it. Laura and I, we share struggles that we have. So just so that you know, we are not perfect people, and we're not fostering the idea of perfection. That's not what we believe in. But we're two women who lead normal lives, who have independently discovered the path of personal growth, and then come together with a single ideal that we can all lead ridiculously amazing lives. So that's why we're here.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know, there are people that tune in and they watch a little bit and they tune out,
Hmm.
you know, and they're not doing the work and they're not really engaging and listening in to what this could do for you.
Hmm.
So I really urge you, if you're catching the replay, if you know somebody that, you know, it wants to grow themselves, or you think that this question could be helpful, please share it with them, because we really want people. I don't think people realize how they became who they are right now and how they
Hmm.
can become who they're going to be, you know. So Ria and we are on a mission. We know
Yes.
people can live ridiculously amazing lives, you know. We want them to open their mind to that whole concept.
Yes.
So Sapa says the best gift we can give to ourselves is a gift of growth, personal growth.
I agree with that.
Perfection is a lie.
Yes, it is.
I couldn't teach about perfection if my life depended on it. I can teach about a lot of things. I love to do trainings and teachings, but perfection,
No, it's no.
it's like teaching about the mermaid friend that lives next door. Like they're, you know what I mean? It's not real.
Yeah, no, no, not at all, not at all. Okay.
So
Oh,
Dawn,
thank you, Dawn.
I always share this. The one person who tunes in just might be the next motivational speaker or
Yes,
can even save a
a
hopeless
hopeless heart.
Oh, Dawn.
You are so sweet.
Dawn, you are on fire with your words tonight. You are on fire with your words. Or it can even save a hopeless heart.
Yes.
I'm like, what is going on tonight? Because I feel very emotionally
Oh, well, you know,
connected.
it's just it's the right time. It's the right topic. This is the right group. This is resonating with all of us. There are things going on in our lives. There are things going on in this world that you could not have picked a better topic for tonight, Laura. You
Well,
just
I mean, what we do, Ria, is we always share what we're doing, right, in our own lives.
mm-hmm,
And so this has been something I've been journaling about and pondering.
mm-hmm.
So Christine says, great question, great show.
Thank
I
you.
knew you were lurking there, Christine. Good to see you. I saw Christine for like a hot second today,
Ah,
and I got to hug her, and then she was poof gone.
on her
So
way.
we didn't get to chit chat, but yeah. So thank you. And this is a safe space, right? I mean, and
Mm-hmm.
Ria and I are going to make sure of that. So feel free to comment, and if you want to private message us, that's fine
Then
too.
do that too. Yes,
Right.
yes.
But we share from our hearts, like the two of us do, because we make ourselves vulnerable to go deep so that you can tune in and do the same
Mm-hmm.
thing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So, where you going to dinner tonight? Somewhere nice, Ria?
Oh yes, we're going to a nice restaurant tonight, so I'm looking forward to it.
Nice.
And
Well, you
and then
enjoy.
and then we return to New York tomorrow. So
So,
yeah.
okay, great. Bundle up.
I know, but that's okay. I'll still have a couple of days off to accomplish some things and hopefully talk to you soon. So
Yes, definitely we will. Okay, so you go
okay,
enjoy. Give my love to Joe.
I sure
Thank you,
will.
everybody.
Love you
Post
all.
in the comments.
Wonderful. Thank
Have an
you.
awesome week.
All
Bye
right.
bye.
Bye bye.